You're here again? Oh, what's up, man? Oh my days, it's like I see you all the time now. But you know what, you've been consistent for these past couple of months. So how are you feeling? I should have started working ages ago. I got more energy, I'm more productive, and I feel more confident in myself. Obviously, I've only been coming to the gym for a couple of months, but man, my strength has gone up massively. Starting to see a little bit of muscle definition. Yeah, man, you know that's not the only immediate responses that are happening in your body. Your cardiovascular system responds, the way your body uses energy and your metabolism will boost temporarily, and even your brain gets involved and it can impact the way that you think and your focus and your cognitive function. Imagine that. So you're telling me that while I'm exercising, my body's working on that many levels. So how is it helping my heart? Because you're talking about cardiovascular. Cardiovascular work. Let's get into it. So the immediate effects of the cardiovascular system during exercise include an increased heart rate, where oxygen transport is directed to the working muscles. What this means for your body is that, do you like my redirection arrow? That your blood is then redirected away from your stomach or your digestive system. We can link this back to nutrition, where we shouldn't really be eating anything that's slow digesting or high fiber or high protein. About an hour before exercise, what we should be aiming to do is actually having some simple sugars, some fast digesting carbs, so we have energy for our body. We also get an increased breath rate during exercise, so you're breathing harder, and this leads to an increased oxygen intake or uptake, however you want to phrase it, which leads to reduced CO2 levels in our body due to increased breath rate, which actually increases our exhalation, so breathing out. That kind of thing. Wait, so exercise actually stimulates the release of certain chemicals in my brain? Well, how does that work? A chemical response, okay, immediately or at least about 20 minutes into our workout, we have increased adrenaline, which leads to increased alertness. So our focus will improve, we're more aware. We also have endorphin release, okay? What this endorphin release stimulates is that feeling of a runner's high. Now, a runner's high isn't just achieved through running, obviously, but it can be achieved through doing high intensity exercise. It can be achieved through doing running. It can be achieved through doing weightlifting. Any sort of physical activity or physical exercise. So we have increased dopamine and serotonin levels that are released. This leads to better mood for several hours following exercise. Serotonin is linked with reduced depression and anxiety. Now, cortisol is good for you in the context of exercise. So it releases energy to fuel your performance. It allows you to lift weights. It allows you to lift heavier. It allows you to move better. And it releases energy so you can actually work out instead of being tired. Yeah? Metabolism and energy, or metabolism.
Hello, how are you? I am under the water.
And energy. The immediate impact, okay, our muscles burn through our glycogen stores. So this is why, ideally, before you work out, whether it's an hour, if it's an hour, half an hour, you would need some fast sugars and some simple carbs. Stay away, like I said earlier, stay away from the foods that are high fiber if you're going to be working out within the hour of eating. If you're going to be working out 2 to 3 hours after eating, then you can have some of this high fiber or high protein because it's slow releasing energy. If you're going to be working out very close to the time that you're eating, then again, fast sugars, low protein, low fiber. Okay? Now, during exercise, our blood sugars reduce. This makes sense because our muscles burn through, or our body burns through, our glycogen stores. This means that during exercise, our blood sugars end up reducing because our body's using it for fuel and energy. It stabilizes post-workout, which is why post-workout you should have, again, something like rice or white potatoes, and then have protein, of course, because, again, it's going to rebuild and repair the muscle fibers. But we're not talking about that today. Our metabolism, I'm struggling to really say that word today. Our metabolism increases post-workout, okay? Now, this is due to something called caloric afterburn. Now you get it in any form of exercise. You normally get it in after doing some sort of cardio, or you also get it after doing weight training. The caloric afterburn effect can last up to 48 hours. That's not a definite that is definitely lasting that long, but it can. And after doing some sort of cardio, HIIT training, whatever it might be, then it can last for up to 24 hours. Okay? Very, very clear for you to understand that it can last up to. Not a definite that it does definitely last up to that long. Everyone is different. Now you're telling me that my brain is even involved in this. Hold on a minute, so what's happening there? The immediate impact. Oh my gosh, where's my thing fell on the floor? The immediate impact that exercise has on the brain is that it increases blood flow to the brain. Okay? And what this does is it increases focus. So we've spoken about alertness, we've spoken about focus, we've spoken about having a runner's high. There are so many immediate benefits to exercise, but it's not just this. Let's go into the next part. Obviously, we're still talking about the brain. We have BDNF, and I know it sounds like some sort of central kinky thing, but it's not that. That's BDSM. Don't search it. Now, what BDNF stands for, okay, is it stands for the brain-derived neurotrophic function. I really can't enunciate my R's. I must have a speech impediment, man. I don't know. What this is it's a protein that is produced in the brain that actually benefits the neurons. Okay, so it's like the deeper elements of the brain. Okay, if you were to look at a microscope, maybe you can see it. Probably not, because you have to go actually go into electrical signaling and all of that kind of stuff. What this promotes, okay, on a cellular level, is growth, maintenance, and survival of the cells itself. But what it also does is that it actually strengthens the connection between them. Now, what that is known as strengthening the connection is it strengthens the synapses, or the synapses, however you want to spell it. I'll spell it out for you here. I'm not gonna lie, you actually didn't need to see my face for the other part, so this is more important. I know I'm handsome, but so the BDNF actually strengthens the synapses. So here's our side mission. Here's our side mission lesson, I should say, because you mentioned synapses. So let's go into some slight more detail about it, okay? So essentially, synapses is the connection and the communication between neurons. So here we have neuron A. Neuron A fires or shoots out the neurotransmitters, which are your serotonin, endorphins, dopamines. There are some others, but we're keeping it to this for now. Now, this gap of darkness right here, so imagine it like it's falling off a cliff. Now, this is known as a synaptic cleft. I don't know if anyone's watched Wanted, I think it is, the one where they curve the bullets. Imagine that's what's happening here. So the neurotransmitter bullets are being curved around the synaptic cleft in this case, but actually they just go over it. And we have here neuron B, which is ready to grasp and embrace the dopamine, serotonin, and endorphins. This process essentially just repeats itself. And in a simple term, okay, that's how synapses work. How amazing is your body to respond like that during exercise? So if that's short term, how does my body change long term? Now you're asking the right questions, my friend, huh? That's a whole nother conversation. Well, let's get into it in the next episode.